So let me just read Proposition S, according to, and this is literature that they're putting out, whatever, allows any Dallas resident to sue city government for failure to follow local and state law. Talk to me about the fundamental flaw with this amendment.
If we no longer have our immunity, these frivolous lawsuits can actually end up pausing or stopping, halting a project. It could just be devastating. You're finally getting your street fixed, and somebody decides that we didn't follow the law or the ordinances, and all of a sudden now things are halted because a judge decides, well, we need to wait. And you know how long lawsuits can take. They can take 2, 4, 6, 10 years. And all of a sudden that makes that project is just going to erupt in price. Anybody could sue us for just about any little thing they wanted to, and they may not even have any standing, but they want to sue and think that they're going to get some money, and the city can't stop it because we no longer have immunity.
But at the current time, you can sue. You can sue, right?
Folks can sue, that's correct. But what usually happens is our attorneys go in, they use our immunity clause, and the judge throws it out. And, we're not paused, we're not stopping, we're not having to do anything like that. I think that this one is completely irresponsible.
And the government without a degree of immunity cannot function. Is that correct?
Absolutely. How do you function if you can't get projects going, if you can't build that library, or you can't make a crosswalk better, or you can't get into a contract with another governmental agency or something because some folks decided that they wanted to run the city themselves, and they don't even live in the city.
Okay, so Proposition S, bad idea. Proposition T ties Dallas city manager pay to results of annual Dallas Community Survey. Who conducts that? Measuring core city services like public safety, cleanliness, streets, and homelessness. So a survey to measure the performance of the city manager every year. What's the fallacy in that?
Well, what will happen with that is they say 1,400 folks have to fill this out, 100 per district. All of a sudden, this becomes a campaign. So the same folks that don't live in the city of Dallas that decided all of a sudden they didn't get their way on something, or they didn't like what the city did, and then they're going to use their campaign, and it's all tied together. One millionaire that's not even from the city of Dallas, doesn't live in the city of Dallas, and an organization that's out of the Park Cities, out of University Park, would then sit there and go, we're going to get rid of this city manager because we're not getting our way on what we want. Who's going to apply to work here in this city? And we're going to end up with poor talent. Who's going to want to come work here? Who's going to want to be here in the city of Dallas if they're, as a city manager, they are tied to a survey? That's why we have an election, and you elect 14 council members and the mayor, and that person works for us, and we work for the people.
Councilman, I have covered city government for a long time, since 1983, I have covered city government in some form or fashion, and I know that city government is set up and aligned to work in a certain way. And the city manager in the city of Dallas does not work for the citizens and is not answerable to the citizens. He is answerable, or she is answerable to who?
To the city council.
Why is that? Why is it set up that way?
Because we are a representative democracy, and you elect representatives in order to get the job done. And that city manager, if they have to answer to 1.4 million people individually, they're never going to get their job done. I'd just rather people vote no so that we can continue with the business they want done.
Okay, and then finally, Proposition U requires the city to prioritize hiring more police to restore historic ratio. That means historic ratio of officers to residents and providing for increased officer pay benefits to put Dallas on par with other cities in the Metroplex. Talk to me about the problem with this proposition.
So with this one, even Chief Eddie Garcia said before we had to vote to put them on the ballot when we were asking questions, there's no way that the city of Dallas can responsibly hire 1,000 police officers and then hold that number. And the reasons for it is we don't have the support equipment for those police officers, which is we'd have to buy squad cars, we'd have to buy radios, we'd have to buy, everything that they need for support. You also don't have an academy that can get that many people to go through it. Now, of course, the people that put this on the ballot, the millionaire and this shadowy organization that are hiding in the shadows, that don't live in the city of Dallas, what they are saying is that, oh, this doesn't have to be all in 1 year. We can be over several years. That's what we're doing now. We can responsibly train about 250 officers a year. If we've not been able to hit that number in 3 years, and we have given Chief Eddie Garcia, the Dallas Police Department, every resource that they need, and the city of Dallas is one of the top cities in the nation hiring new officers. I mean, this is so draconian, so irresponsible, so just bad for the city budget, is that it says that any excess revenue, so that's the increase in revenue that comes, whether it's from sales tax or it comes from property values go up. Nobody wants their property values to go down. What happens is the revenue that's extra, it says 50% has to go to the police and fire pension, and 50% has to go to increasing their pay. That means there's no extra money. The city of Dallas would have no extra money because of what this charter amendment says in the funding. And the other thing is that.
Well, wait a second. Hold on a second. Councilmember, that sounds disastrous. That sounds absolutely ruinous and disastrous. Reinforce that notion. What are they trying to achieve here?
All I can think of is that these folks that live in University Park and the Park cities, I think that they want to just hurt the city of Dallas. I don't know what they're trying to do, and they're masking it in that they're going to make us get more police officers. Are the best. I'm telling you right now, we do not have bad officers in our city because they're trained properly. They're trained at the highest level. And it's because of the requirements that we have for some college, their backgrounds, all these things go into them being hired. And we would have to eliminate, I think, all of it, because to get 1,000 officers and then to keep at that 4,000 level, well, that's the other part that's bad about this. It says to have 4,000. We can't go up. We can't go down. You have to be at 4,000, and then you have to hire all the staff
to support.
We have no extra money to pay the non-uniform folks that would work in DPD because that revenue is already all 100% tied up, 50% to police and fire pension, and then 50% to pay for police officers. $185.5 million, and you have to cut libraries, you have to cut services. We are $8 billion in deferred maintenance. And we've been working really hard the entire time I've been here to make those better. You just sent us into having to cut all of that money. Libraries wouldn't be able to be open. Parks, rec centers wouldn't be able to be open. The MLK Center, the West Dallas Multipurpose Center, they wouldn't be able to be open because either we wouldn't have the staff to do it, or you just can't turn on the lights because we would have to put so many dollars into a account to hold for these 4,000 total officers. We pay a very, very high wage for our Dallas police officers. The starting pay this year is $75,000. When I got here to the city of Dallas 7 years ago as a councilman, it was $45,000. This is the other part that hurts. It completely leaves out Dallas Fire Rescue. We've always had them working together. getting paid together. So that means what? Do we have to cut their pay in order to, because everything goes to police? We're not saying that we don't want to take care of our police department. You have the most police friendly council in a long time, and we are doing everything that we can because public safety is number one for us. But crime's gone down. If we're so short, crime's gone down. Violent crime, we're the only major city 3 years in a row to have violent crime go down, and we're about to have our fourth year.
The dystopian, the draconian elements to these three amendments. What do the citizens of Dallas need to understand about how ruinous these three propositions could be? Tell me.
What they need to know is that your tax dollars will not be doing all the things that you want them to do. And if we can't do all the services at the best level that we can, and we only have a police department that's already at the best levels, yeah, it needs more officers, and we don't do this responsibly, the city of Dallas is going to fail. And not on my watch.